And welcome again to the Dave LewAllen Podcast. We cover sports stories, newsmakers, and difference makers in our communities and across the state of Michigan. Today, we're going to focus on golf, hospitality, tourism in the state of Michigan. Barry Owens is the general manager of Treetops Resort in Gaylord. He is a longtime friend. We're reconnecting after a lot of years, though, and it's my pleasure to welcome Barry to the Dave LewAllen Podcast today. And Barry, let me first say thank you so very much for your time, because you're getting into your busy season of golf, certainly at Treetops. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dave. It's a treat to reconnect, and it's also an honor to be on your show. So thank you.
Well, let's talk about moving through spring and into the summer golf season. I mean, you've got fantastic golf courses at Treetops, part of the Gaylord golf mecca, one of the real golf destinations in the state of Michigan. What's new at Treetops?
What's new at Treetops? So it's as we kind of get into the heat of the summer season here, it's exciting. We're looking for a great year again with a lot of activity, a lot of play. Some of the things that are neat that are going on up here. We've been doing an improvement plan on our golf courses throughout the last few years, and a lot of it's had to do with some tree removal that we've done on the golf courses. We started on the Tradition golf course, and for those people that have been up here, they've seen these changes. The Tradition was a kind of a tree-lined golf course that didn't have as much elevation change as the other courses, and we took down a tremendous amount of trees to open up play and to make it an inland link style course. So you can stand at the first tee, and you can see 14 flags out there, which is sometimes rare in northern Michigan to have that much of a view out onto the property. And so it's received rave reviews. Last year we did a significant tree work on the Fazio golf course, and that received rave reviews last year. And then this past winter, we did the signature course. And one of the things to understand is people don't, if you're not familiar with turf and everything else, the impact that trees can have on turf, from the shade and the lack of airflow, and restricting of traffic of carts, all these different things. And of course, none of us likes to hit a golf ball into the trees. So on the signature, if you can believe this, we removed 10,000 trees this winter.
Wow.
And it had become, some areas were almost claustrophobic. There were shot, if you were a better player that was able to shape the ball from right to left or left to right, sometimes you'd have options taken out of your hands when you were standing relatively in the middle of the fairway. So, and we've created some incredible views. I mean, our tagline, Michigan's most spectacular resort, has to do with the views that exist on all of our golf courses. And so we've opened some of those up, and what we've done on the signature is nothing short of dramatic. I mean, it's really, really neat, and I can't wait for people that have played it recently to get up here and see it, and even those that have never played it, because the change is dramatic.
And while some might watching or listening might say 10,000 trees, how could you possibly do that? Look, there is no shortage of trees still on the Treetops property. I mean, the name Treetops says it all right there.
Right. Right. Yeah, it sure does. And it's kind of crazy because, when we first started with this too, a lot of it had to do with turf health.
Mm-hmm.
There was areas where, one thing's about trees is they grow. Yeah. So over time, they just get bigger, their root systems, take water out of the ground. The shade creates lack of sunlight. So we were having encroachments on fairways, on tees, and areas that was disturbing cart paths, all kinds of areas. So, yeah, I mean, it'll be funny. In a few short months, by the end of this year, people that have never played the course before will come up and maybe not even realize any trees have been removed. So it goes to your point there that while 10,000 trees sounds like a lot, when you're in a forest, it's not very many.
Yeah, and course conditions and playability. I mean, that's part of the attraction for golfers to want to come north, want to come to Treetops to play your great golf courses. They want excellent conditioning and playability.
Yeah, they sure do, and it's one of the things too, and one of the challenges for the sport is pace of play. And so we take that very serious, and we're on a mission here along with this is to improve the pace of play, and that it's more consistent throughout the day, and even on busy days and weekends. And so with this tree plan, we're also going in and clearing up where these trees are at. So it's making areas where it's easier to find your ball. If you're just off the edge of the fairway, you're not really in the woods. So there's a variety of benefits that this is providing.
Some of us are deep in the woods far too
Yeah.
often, Barry. So, so I'm on board with it for sure. Hey, you mentioned some of the names of the golf courses. For those that aren't familiar, Rick Smith had a long history there, designed a couple of golf courses. You mentioned Tom Fazio, one of the great designers, and really someone who helped put Treetops on the map as you move from just a ski hill or resort to golf as well. Robert Trent Jones Sr. and his golf course. And was he the first, high profile major architect, nationally or internationally to put their signature, if you will, on northern Michigan? Seems like that's what I remember.
So, it's probably one that got the most notoriety. It opened in 1987. It did in some instances, it planted a flag, if you will, for treetops. It's hard to argue, the Heather course over at Boyne Highlands. It's been there longer than that. And then, of course, a place like Crystal Downs has been there for a long, long
Right.
time with an architect by the name of Alistair Mackenzie, who did a couple courses.
Yes, he
One
did.
specifically Augusta.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really did kind of at that time, and that was a go-go time for the whole industry of development, and I think it drew a lot of notoriety. It was the last course in Michigan done by, or RTJ Senior last course in Michigan, so it's pretty special, and it today still is. It's renowned, and there's literally people that show up, with a little booklet that's got all of Robert Trent Jones Senior's designs, and they like check it off when they're on the first tee that we got another one checked off.
Yeah. They get to the first tee, and that's spectacular. And how about the par 3 sixth hole, of course, which,
Right.
as the story goes, right? I mean, the name Treetops came as a result of the par 3 sixth. Tell us about that.
Yeah, sure. So the developer who developed, everything that during that time was a gentleman by the name of Harry Melling. The Melling family, Melling Tool, which is was in the automobile manufacturing industry, and when he purchased the resort, it was known as Sylvan Knob, and then it became Sylvan Resort. But at the time, there was discussions about changing the name, and he had these discussions. Mr. Melling did with Mr. Jones, and they were standing on the sixth tee there of the Jones course under construction. And the story goes, as Jones looked at Melling, he goes, "Look at this view here. This is what you should name the course." And Mr. Melling's like, "Name it what?" He goes, "Treetops. It's all you can see from here." And it stuck. That's where the name came from. I mean, we have a big plaque at our Jones Pro Shop that highlights that whole story.
And you're talking that sixth hole, par 3, 125-foot elevation drop. I mean, you're high above, and the green is down below you. It's and in the fall in particular, with those treetops, the view is spectacular.
Yeah, it really is. It's that's become it is our signature hole, and I think a lot of designs now you see that in a lot of places. It exists too on the Fazio course, and also on the there's a specific hole on the par three, number three on Treetops, Devil's Drop, which is it's got a 160-foot drop. The Jones number six is about a 140-foot drop, so it's pretty amazing trying to figure out your club selection on those holes.
Yeah, fantastic. Speaking with Barry Owens, the general manager of Treetops Resort, as we focus on golf in northern Michigan, tourism and hospitality. You mentioned you expect a good year. Barry, have things rebounded from COVID, which thankfully is in the rearview mirror, and are people come back to treetops, the way you would have hoped?
Yeah, I think it's, if you talk to most anybody in the golf industry, we're well past the rebound.
Good.
The COVID, as crazy as it was, and it benefited outdoor recreation.
Yeah.
And golf was one of the leaders at the list, as was skiing. But it's we've come back, and we're easily at past 2019 levels. So yeah, the industry's very, very healthy right now. I attend some of the state and national meetings and stuff, and there's the discussion about how things continue to be strong. Obviously we've had some uncertainties, within our federal government policies and some things like that. I know that have raised some concerns, but it sure appears like the industry continues to grow strong. And it's the big change that's happened too is there's a huge youth movement in golf, and what I mean by that is the number of people now that we see, the groups of golfers that are under 35, and good players, and and it is a passion of theirs, not just to get out and play the game, but do it the right way and with the proper equipment and everything else. So it's I think the game is in a really good spot right now.
And let's talk a little bit more about that and big picture. In Gaylord, you partner with other golf courses, the Gaylord Golf Mecca, and you promote and market your region in that way. For years, Michigan has also kind of marketed itself as the summer golf capital of the world, including all of lower northern Michigan in particular. Pure Michigan and tourism and support that way. I mean, your industry is critically important in the tourism big picture, isn't it, Barry?
It sure is. So, we, as a lot of courses in the state, are members of the Michigan Golf Course Association. In fact, we just had a lobbying day done down in Lansing, to go communicate with our legislators on what's important in our industry. And just recently, the industry did Michigan industry did some economic research, and our annual impact is in excess of $6 billion in the golf industry in Michigan. So we are a significant player in what's taken place there. And we get the support from a state level, through the Pure Michigan and the tourism campaign there, and the MEDC, and Kelly Wolgamont, who heads that up for the Pure Michigan campaign. I just can't say enough good things about that. What gets produced, and the name recognition of Pure Michigan. I talked to some of my peers in the other states, and they're like, we wish we had a campaign like the Pure Michigan campaign. And I hope our legislature continues to support that, and keeps us at financial levels that allow us to compete with the other states that are out there, even in our backyard, because other states have taken notice and they've allocated more funds sometimes to tourism support than we have. So I hope we can continue to support it.
Well, and you know, Michigan has been a destination for golf for a long time. The campaign, certainly Pure Michigan, has highlighted the golf industry over the years, had to have helped. And I got to believe that, you know, you see visitors from many states at Treetops and certainly at the other, great resorts in northern Michigan as well. Is that something you're able to track and say, hey, here's evidence of how important this funding, this support through Pure Michigan really is for us?
So absolutely. So in 2024, we had people with us from 50 states,
Wow.
12 countries. Um, 22% of our people are from out of state. And now there are, a lot of those are in the Great Lakes region, that some of them are drive stuff, but we've made huge inroads. The whole northern Michigan has as a national destination. There's a cooperative program that we're involved with. America's Summer Golf Capital, which is some of the top resorts here in Michigan, is partnered with the state, and we in partnership with Traverse City Airport, Cherry Capital Airport, TBC is the identifier, but there's now direct flights from, I think it's 21 different states in the summertime. So we get a lot of people flying in from Dallas, Houston now too. There's 3 locations in Florida, and then a bunch on the West Coast, or
Wow.
I'm sorry, on the East Coast. JFK, LaGuardia, Philadelphia, Boston. I know I'm not saying them all, but so we're seeing all that stuff, and particularly the ones from the south and the warm weather states that are looking to escape the high heat and humidity and come up and have what we have here in northern Michigan and just love it.
And they're all welcome.
They sure are. They
Yeah.
sure are. It's funny. We joke about, and as we all know, when you travel sometimes and a plane ticket's involved, I was talking to one of our reservationists, and she goes, "Yeah, I just booked a foursome from Dallas, and they're coming up." And she goes, "It was crazy. We went through everything. They're staying for 5 days and 4 nights." She goes, "They never even asked me how much it cost." And I go, "Okay." I go, "That's great." "I literally had to tell them at the end." They go, "Oh, okay, great, fine, thank you."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
They were intent on making the trip.
they are, and and because of Pure Michigan, because of America's Summer Golf Capital, because of what we have here in Michigan, and particularly in Gaylord and the Gaylord Golf Mecca, which has been in existence since the Jones course
Yeah.
opened, back in '87. That recognition is out there, and people are just continue to discover what we have up here.
All right, and let's talk a little bit more specifically about Treetops because, while our focus is golf, you are a four-season resort and destination, and had the beginnings, as we've mentioned, with skiing, which continues, but you host conventions, large groups as well. There's lodging, there's hiking and biking, and I mean, give me kind of your elevator pitch on Treetops and why it should be on everyone's destination list.
Sure, sure. So we are a four-season destination. We our highlight, first and foremost, is outdoor recreation, whether it's golfing in the summertime, and then all the other summer activities that you can do here or either in the area, which include the hiking and biking trails, the rivers, streams, lakes. We're only an hour from the big water. We're a great place for a base camp to visit all of northern Michigan. And then when we roll into the wintertime, we've got, all the winter adventures, downhill skiing, snowboarding. One of our big draws is tubing.
Hmm.
I personally like tubing. It requires absolutely no skill, and something pulls you back up the hill, or you stand on it, and a magic carpet takes you up the hill. And it's funny, that actually is a brand name, Magic Carpet. But so yeah, there's that stuff, and then we've got 5 restaurants on property, indoor and outdoor pools, full service spa and salon, and then we're an ideal location for conferences. We're centrally located in the middle of the state. We're right on I-75 and M32. So we say we're only 10 minutes from I-75, but we're like a lifetime away.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that um, I'm I'm most proud of our team here and what we do is we refer to it as our hedgehog concept, and it's why we exist. It's why we get up in the morning, and it's to create lasting memories for people. And we look at it, and you take a typical golf group, let's just say it's 12, 12 people that are playing, and sometimes they only see each other once a year,
Hmm.
and they see themselves together at Treetops. And we take that really, really serious, and the memories that we're going to create for them that they're going to hold on to for a lifetime, and share the pictures and the text chatter that goes back and forth both before and after. And we take great pride in providing that experience.
So that service element is really important then from your team to help make sure those experiences are in fact memorable. You've got to be the largest employer in the Gaylord area, aren't you? Or certainly one of the largest, and um, you know that's a huge impact economically in and of itself.
Yeah, it sure is. So, we're up there. I don't think we're the top because we've got a large school system in town, and we've got a part of the Munson Healthcare hospital here at Seagull Memorial Hospital, and there's some other good-sized businesses in town. But we're definitely up there as one of the top employers. And as you say, I mean, there's that engine of that payroll that's put back into the community that multiplies for everybody.
Sure.
And but it's Gaylord's a very neat, resilient town. Obviously, it's got the Alpine themed spirit. We'll have Alpenfest coming up here in a few weeks. That is a big celebration of the heritage that exists. And like so many of these small communities, there's a certain friendliness and certain spirit and camaraderie of people want to make sure everybody has a good time. And it's we see it here at our place, and we see it at the businesses in town. So we feel blessed to be part of the Gaylord community.
You mentioned the projects, taking out the trees and improving the golf courses, the turf, the playability, those types of things. As you think big picture for Treetops, is there a next thing out there for you beyond the day-to-day excellence that you strive to meet?
Yeah, there sure are. And there's a variety of different things, but some of the bigger picture things, like, for example, the in our winter season, we've been slowly expanding our ski hill. Over the last 5 years, we've introduced, 5 new ski runs, and we've got another one, or possibly two, we'll be introducing this winter. So there's continual growth in the ski market. We see that market is having a lot of low-hanging fruit for us. One of the other things we're very excited about is, and ironically, so many of these properties like this, they have this huge real estate development base,
Mhm.
where there's homes, condos, that type of thing. And Treetops has never really capitalized or took advantage of that opportunity. So by the end of this year, we'll have some announcements where we'll start to introduce some real estate opportunities for people here. And if you can think of this, um, real, es- real estate sales at Treetops, there hasn't been a residential lot sold or condos sold to a new buyer by the resort since the 1990s.
Wow.
So we've obviously got a big supply of land that we have opportunities to do stuff with. So we expect that to be coming on here at year end, and we're excited about that.
Can you bring in partners for that? Is that something that you develop yourself? Because that will be for you, even if you do it in phases, right? That'll be a huge potential, but a huge undertaking as well.
It sure is. Yeah, we've been working with the developer real closely with, and we're not ready to make announcements yet, but I know it'll be coming here in the next 60 to 90 days. That something will be coming out. So yeah, we'll definitely work with people that are experts in that field and more skilled and qualified than we are, and combine our talents to do something special.
Well, it's a special place. The land, the elevations, the trees that makes Treetops special for sure. I guess one final word would be Barry Owens, General Manager of Treetops, for those people and groups, as we specifically focus on golf, but who want to make memories. The best way to go about, contacting and also making those arrangements at Treetops to create something special for themselves.
Yeah, sure. So, definitely you can give us a call at our 888 Treetops, 888 Treetops, and one of our reservations specialists there will take care, and they do a great job. They understand the property as well as anybody, and they can identify, whatever your needs are and then provide you with some solutions. If you're so inclined, I mean, you can go to our website, treetops.com, and you can book a bunch of stuff there right online if you prefer to do it that way, or do your research and give us a call. But whichever way works, we'll be happy to take care of you.
And there's room for more golfers, right?
There's room at the end, Dave.
Fantastic. Barry, this is great. I appreciate so much the time. And again, I think that, there are people out there that don't realize, tourism, the importance to Michigan, even today, and golf, for this state. I mean, we've got second most public golf courses in the country. I mean, it's number one, yeah, still.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal thing.
It really is. It's quite the engine that just generates all this activity, and I think when you combine that with the location here in northern Michigan, between the agriculture and the water, as you know, I mean, and your listeners, I mean, it's a rite of passage to say I'm going up north for the weekend.
Yeah.
The only thing better than saying that is I'm going up north to my place for the weekend. So it's everybody's dream that's living downstate to be able to come up to what we have.
Yeah, and Treetops can be your place.
Absolutely.
Barry, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dave.
Great to catch up with you, and best of luck in the coming golf season at Treetops.
See you on the first tee.
There you go. Barry Owens is the general manager of Treetops in Gaylord in northern Michigan, joining us today on the Dave LewAllen Podcast. As always, we thank you for joining us. We're on YouTube and all your favorite podcast platforms. Give us a like, subscribe, so you get notifications when we have other great episodes coming your way. Thanks to producer-director Josh Bowern as well. Until next time, stay safe, be kind.